Good morning, Suzuki Science, and I would like to welcome you to day two. You've made it through day one. This is a very different experience, is it not? I take it that you were sitting at home on your computer, working away yesterday, trying to figure out, okay, what am I doing in this class in English? What am I doing in this class in math? And what am I doing in this class in biology? Biology, I'm hoping that you're finding this first week easier because we are really just reviewing what we did before the break, making sure that you have time to hand in anything that's outstanding, maybe double checking your work to see if it has met all the expectations. Some of you may have rushed to get it in at a certain time, and I want to make sure that we're all in a good place. So this is a great opportunity to ask me any questions that you might have, and we'll work into next week, which will be the beginning of the new learning. So reviewing some of the things that we looked at yesterday, one of the things I asked you all to do was to share something you had been doing over the past 3 weeks. And some of these shares are really cool. I've been in the mall, and Tanika, I agree. These places are surreal when you walk into them. You're used to seeing, several people, lots of people. Now they're pretty empty as they decide who and how many people are going in. This artwork that some of you have submitted, Kriti, that's pretty impressive. I like this this duality between the wolf inside you and the human on the outside. Cats. That's nice. You got a cat here. That cool cat. Probably put the glasses on. I don't know if it's a her or him. On Max. Him, I guess. And working out. I like your ingenuity using oil bottles and what is that? Noodles? I'm not sure. That must be okay. 4.5 kilograms. Okay, whatever that is. It's a pretty inventive way of making sure that you stay in shape. Netflixing seems pretty popular. A lot of us are watching shows. Some of you have chosen to do the Netflix party and watch a show with a friend. So that's, you have to figure out how to stay social and stay connected with whoever your friends happen to be, wherever they happen to be. Danica, that looks maybe you can make that for me. I like the healthiness of your greens, and I don't really recognize what else is happening there, but I'm sure it was tasty. Playing cards, playing games is hugely popular in our house. We play games at least every other night, if not every night. And I like your, Ashlyn, how you start it, as you said in your little comment, but you're so excited to get onto the next idea that you don't really finish them. But I guess they will get finished eventually. So for all you budding artists out there who are getting a chance to play with your watercolors and pastels and shadings and grays, that's very talented. I cannot draw at all. Ava, I like the fact that you're hopping on your bike, and I assume you're riding further than just across the driveway, but that's nice. You're getting some fresh air. And I used to be a musician. Once upon a time, I was going to go into music, not science. So Mac, it's really cool to see your set here. And I remember when I had a little drum set, that was not my instrument, but there was none of the acoustics. We had to hit the drum and the entire house heard. You couldn't hide it behind an earphone just for your own listening pleasure. Anyway, thank you for sharing what you have been doing for the past 3 weeks. I think most of us are on here, so that's excellent. Now, moving forward, I do want to make sure that you are submitting your work to the right location. And when you're in D2L, so we are using a combination of Google Classroom and D2L. I'm trying to use Google Classroom at the moment to streamline the process, but I will be asking you to submit most things to D2L still. And in D2L, when you're submitting your work, the case study, if you come over here to content and you go here to general submissions, then you'll see case study. Where it says submit to turn it in, don't worry, because that happens automatically. So that should have been submitted there. And then for the evidence for evolution, you click on the evolution tab. You scroll down to the evidence for evolution. And you'll see an evidence for evolution Dropbox, as well as an evidence for evolution microbiome section. So those are the two submissions that should have happened a while ago. But as I said, I will accept it till Thursday, and then I'll do those final marks and get them in for your, and give you an update of where you stand in the course. Now, each day I'm going to give a little bit of an announcement. Mostly it'll be like a 1 minute, 2 minute thing, just to make sure I'm connecting with you and you know what's happening. I know some teachers are giving you daily work, and so every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they're going to give you something and you'll complete it. My strategy is I'm going to give you the entire work for the week on the Monday or Tuesday for next week because of the 4-day weekend. and then you decide how you want to break up your day. If you all want to do the whole thing in one day in one sitting, great. If you want to do a little piece on Monday, and a little piece on Wednesday, and a little piece on Friday, and be done, that's great. As we move into next week, we will start getting into the real assignments. We'll be doing a common assignments between myself and Martin's class, and so you can talk to your friends and get some help if you need that way. And the other days of the week, so since Monday I'm releasing the entire whatever we're doing for the week, I'm going to have a certain pattern that will happen on the Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and for most weeks Friday. This week's a short week, so there's nothing on Friday. So typically on the Tuesdays, that's today, I'm going to release a challenge question. This activity is, we'll call it optional, because when you answer the question, you can answer, I'm okay with it. So here's the question, and you can answer, yes, I agree, no, I don't agree. That's fine. Really, this is kind of an attendance, so I know that you're logging in and checking out the work. However, if you are feel more engaged and this is not for marks. There's no marks associated with this. This is just to get us connected, still building community and looking at things that are happening in the world, connecting to the COVID phenomena that we're in right now, and thinking about things that you probably have not thought about. So when you're doing this, you can say, yes, I agree, yes, I think this is wrong, or you can actually get into the conversation and discuss. So down here, I've given you a spot here for discussion, and then you write your response. I'm asking that you put your name beside your response so I can see who did what. I can see it regardless, but it's a whole bunch of extra steps up here that I have to click on, and it just takes too long. So just write down your name. You can color code it if you want and say red is going to be Nadia or something like that. And then you're going to write your response. So a one-word response is fine, or you can write a paragraph. Either way, just be involved with the class. That's why I ask. Okay? And there's no marks associated with this. This is just us having a conversation. So that's the weekly question. The weekly question will happen typically on Tuesdays. Next week, because the week starts on Tuesday, I'll figure that out. Wednesdays will be Wild Wednesdays, I'm going to call it. So on Wednesdays, I'm going to live stream from my house. I have a zoo room downstairs, and in my zoo room, I have lots of animals. I probably have, if I include all the fish as a single animal, then I probably have about 25 animals, maybe 25 animals. So I'm going to typically showcase an animal each week, and on the live stream you can ask me questions, and it'll typically be about 5 to 10 minutes long. I live in nature as well. You saw it from my original presentation I gave you yesterday. So I'll go outside and I might collect some water or other things with my phone, and we will enjoy that moment together. So that will typically be at 12:15 on Tuesdays. 12:15 on Wednesdays, Wild Wednesday. Thursday will be a game or a puzzle of some sort. I'm not exactly sure what that'll look like. Maybe I'll give you a crossword from New York Times, or I'll come up with a card game or some brain teaser. And once again, this is optional. These are all optional. There's no marks associated with this. And then finally on the end of the week, so this week it would have been Thursday, but there's nothing for me to quiz you on, so don't worry about. But for most weeks it'll be Friday. So on Friday there'll be some kind of assessment. I'll assess your learning. It might be a classic quiz, it might be a Padlet, it might be a quizzes, it might be a Kahoot, it could be anything, a word cloud, and I'm going to ask you to participate. In some cases, I'll use it to determine what you've learned. Again, it's another check-in for the week and whatnot. Okay, we will have bigger assignments. I know that many of you had started working on the larger town hall that we were going to do, and we're still doing that. It's just going to be pushed back later in the course, and once we figure out what our conferencing tools, what we're allowed to use, then I'll be able to better use better assess it. Okay, so that's for this week. So at this point, you're still working on catching up from before the break, getting your mind into the mindset of evolution. Because next week's a short week, I might release some readings or things that are appropriate for you to look at for next week for Microevolution. For those of you who have the extra time, you don't know what else to do with yourself, you're tired of Netflixing or lifting oil weights or playing with your kitty cat or whatever you're doing, then you can take a look at that ahead of time if you'd like. But really, next week's lesson will be released on Tuesday morning, and then you'll be told specifically what it is that you're working on. All right.